Alright, so I'm going to make a quick little video on how to change the oil on a old antique Cub Cadet. So for this video, I'm using my 1974 Cub Cadet 169. This is going to be pretty much all the same all through the Kohler K-Series engines, so anything from your Cub Cadet 70 and 100s up through this wide frame series. And the same basics are going to apply to any engine pretty much. So first things first, I usually run them for a little bit, get them warm, gets the oil a little bit more thin inside so it pours easier. Then I like to park them a little bit of a slope so the drain is on the lowest end of the engine. Another thing I like to do when doing oil changes on a tractor, go ahead and remove the key so you don't accidentally start it up without oil. So next, you just need a pan of some sort. Get that under there. Next, you want to get under the tractor. You're going to want to get the correct size wrench. This is a 9/16 for this drain plug. And crack it loose. Once you get it finger tight, you should be able to get under there and or finger loose. And take the plug out. And you want to feel for that last thread. Like that. If you do it right, shouldn't get any on your hands, or very little at least. So if you drain it right in the pan, definitely overdue for an oil change. Just recently got this tractor, so I want to make sure I know when the oil was changed. And it's also been sitting for a few years, so what better time than now. So we'll let that sit and come back in a couple minutes. Alright, a couple minutes later, she's just about done dripping. So we go ahead and put the plug back in. That is quite an important step, as you don't want to pour out your brand new oil on the floor. Get the finger tight. Dripping a little bit from the edges, so let's wipe that off the rag. And you don't want to go crazy, you just want to snug it up. Make sure it's good and won't fall off. One last wipe down, and that part is done. Not metallic at all, but definitely black. So time to put oil back in it. Take a peek under the hood. This tractor, unlike most, usually have a oil fill tube on this side with a dipstick, or at least an oil fill tube. This one is all done right through here. So if you look, this is the dipstick and the fill all in one. Pull that out. Now this tractor has a Kohler K341 in it, which says to take about 1.5 quarts, probably a little bit more, but we'll see. Now this is where you use the oil of your choice. I'm running 10W30, it's a Shell Rotella. This is a diesel engine oil, but I've talked to a few people who run this in their older engines. So this is what I'm gonna go ahead and use. And then I went and dispensed 2 quarts from the big can into the smaller ones, so a little bit more manageable. I like to do that also because you can judge a little bit more easily how much oil you're putting in, as opposed to the big one where it's not quite as precise. So we'll go ahead and put some oil in. We recommend using a funnel for this step, but should be able to get in there. If you pour them on their side, they pour better. Otherwise, I like to chug. It's a little slower pouring from here on these. I personally like the fill tube under the hood. it from that one. That's the 1 quart. This should be about the half. This is a full quart, but we'll judge it on here as we go. Alright, looks right about half. Let's go ahead and check it. Wipe it off just to make sure it's starting clean. Put that in. And it looks like we go just a little bit more. Like I said, I thought it was a little bit more than 1.5 quarts. It's a pretty big engine. We're looking a little bit closer to 2. Go ahead and check that again. Yeah, we'll call that good. About 3/8 of the way up, or 3/4 of the way up. So after your oil level is all good, you are then done with your oil change. So you can close your back up. Stick your key back in. You can start her up. And once you're done, dispose of your oil properly to a recycling center. Your nearest auto parts store should take it. So other than that, that's how you change your oil on an old Cadet tractor. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, you should definitely consider subscribing. And we'll see you in the next one.